I'm just gonna jump into this. We're gonna do the Tempest. I couldn't find Romeo and Juliet, which whatever. I'm sure I could if it came down to it. I've never heard of the Tempest though. I think I've heard of it, but I wanted to do it and I didn't do it. Not quite sure. Oh, magic over here. I'm trying not to get into magic. So I know nothing about this. We'll just go ahead and jump right into it. It's kind of the way they have this organized. It's kind of chaotic. So Dungeons and Dragons here. No, really. I'm not interested at all. I assure you. You were in deep shit here. No, because you didn't. That's why. I dare you. That's the whole point. Scene. The sea with the ship. Afterwards an island. Act 1. Scene 1. On a ship at sea, a tempestuous noise of thunder and lightning heard. Enter a shipmaster and a boatswain severally. Boatswain. Here, master, what cheer? Good speak to the mariners. Fall toots yearly. Or we run ourselves aground. Bestir, bestir. Enter mariners. Boats, high my hearts, cheerly, cheerly, my hearts, yare, yare, take in the topsail, tend to the master's whistle, blow till thou burst thy wind, if room enough. Enter Alonso, Sebastian, Antonio, Ferdinand, Gonzalo, and others. Good boatswain, have care, where's the master? Play the men. I pray now, keep below. Where is the master, boatswain? Do you not hear him? You mar our labor, keep your cabins, you do assist the storm. Nay, good, be patient. When the sea is, hence, what cares these roars for the name of king to cabin? Silence, trouble us not. Good, yet remember whom thou hast aboard. None that I more love than myself. You are a counselor. If you can command these elements to silence and work the peace of the present, we will not hand a rope more. Use your authority. If you cannot give thanks, you have lived so long, and make yourself ready in your cabin for the mischance
you have the
of
right
the
to
hour,
remain silent.
if it so hap. Cheerly, good hearts. Out of our way, I say. I have great comfort from this fellow. Methinks he hath no drowning mark upon him. His complexion is perfect gallows. Stand fast, good fate, to his hanging. Make the rope of his destiny our cable, for our own doth little advantage. If he be not born to be hanged, our case is miserable. Re-enter boatswain. Down with the topmost, yare, lower, lower, bring her to try with main course. A plague upon this howling, they are louder than the weather, or our office. Re-enter Sebastian, Antonio, and Gonzalo. Yet again, what do you hear? Shall we give ear and drown? Have you a mind to sink? Approx your throat, you bawling, blasphemous, incharitable dog. Work you then. Hang, cur, hang! You whoreso, insolent noisemaker, we are less afraid to be drowned than thou art. I'll warrant him for drowning, though the ship were no stronger than a nutshell, and as leaky as an unstanched wrench. Lay her, hold! Set her 2 courses, off to sea again, lay her off. Enter mariners wet. All lost, to prayers, all lost. What must our mouths be cold? The king and prince at prayers, let us assist them, for our case is at theirs. I am out of patience. We are merely cheated of our lives by drunkards. This wide-chapped rascal, would thou mightst slide drowning? The washing of 10 tides. He'll be hanged yet, though every drop of water swear against it, and gape at wits to glut him. Mercy on us! We split! Farewell, my wife and children. Farewell, brother. We split! Let's all sink, we the king. Let's take leave of him. Now would I give 1,000 furlongs of sea for an acre of barren ground, long heath, brown furs, anything. The wills above be done, but I would fain die a dry death. Scene 2. The island before the cell of Prospero. Enter Prospero and Miranda. If by your arts, my dearest father, you have put the wild waters in this oar, I lay them, the sky, it seems, would pour down stinking pitch. But that the sea, mounting to the walking a cheek, dashes the fire out. Oy, have I suffered with those that I suffer, that I saw suffer. A brave vessel, who had no doubt some noble creatures in her, dashed all to pieces. Oy, the cry did knock against my very heart. Poor souls, they perished. Had I been my god of power, I would have sunk the sea within the earth, or error, it should the good ship so have swallowed, and the frotting souls within her. Be collected. No more amazement. Tell your piteous heart there is no harm done. Oh, woe the day! No harm. I have done nothing but in care of thee, my dear one, thee, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art, not knowing of whence I am, nor that I am more better than Prospero, master of a full poor cell, and thy no greater father. More to know did it never meddle with my thoughts. 'Tis time I should inform thee further, lend thy hand, and pluck my magic garment from me. So, lie there my art, wipe thou thine eyes, that comfort. The direful spectacle of the wrath, which touched the very virtue of compassion in thee, I have with such provision in mine art, so safely ordered that there is no soul, no, not so much position as an hair, petted did any creature in the vessel, which thou heardst cry, which thou sawest sink, sit down, for thou must now know further. You have often begun to tell me what I am, but stopped and left me to a bootless inquisition, concluding, stay, not yet. The hour is now come, the very minute bids thee ope thine ear. Obey and be attentive. Canst thou remember a time before we came unto this cell? I do not think thou canst, for then thou wast not out 3 years old. Certainly, sir, I can. But what? By any other house or person, of anything the image tell me that hath kept with thy remembrance? 'Tis far off, and rather like a dream than an assurance that my remembrance warrants. Had I not 4 or 5 women once that tended me? Thou hadst, and more, Miranda, but how is it that this lives in thy mind? What seest thou else in the dark backward and abysm of time? If thou rememberest aught ere thou cam'st here, how thou cam'st here, and thou mayest. But that I do not. 12 years since, Miranda, 12 years since, thy father was a Duke of Milan, and a Prince of Power. Sir, are not you my father? Thy mother was a piece of virtue, and she said thou wast my daughter, and thy father was Duke of Milan, and his only heir, a princess no worse issued. Oh, the heavens, what foul play had we that we came from thence, or blessed wast we did. Both do, my girl. By foul play, as thou say'st, were we thence. But blessedly, hope hither. Oy, my heart bleeds to think, oh, the teen that I have turned you to, which is from my remembrance. Please me further. My brother and thy uncle called Antonio. I pray thee, mark thee, that a brother should be so perfidious. He whom next thyself of all the world I loved, and to him that the managed my state, as at that time through all the signorias, it was the first, and Prospero the prime duke, being so reputed in dignity, and for the liberal arts, without a parallel, those being all my study, the government I cast upon my brother, and to my state drew strangers, being transported, and wrapped in secret studies. Thy false uncle, dost thou attend me? Sir, most heedfully, being once perfected, how to grant suits, how to deny them, who to advance, and who to trash, for overtopping new creative creatures that were mine. I say, or changed in, or else now formed in, having both the key of officer and office, set all hearts, the state to what tune pleased his ear, that now he was the ivy which had hid my princely trunk, and sucked my virtue out on't. Thou attent not. Oh, good sir, I do. I pray thee, mark me. I, thus neglecting worldly ends, all dedicated to closeness and the bettering of my mind, with that, which, by being so retired, O earth-spirized, all popular rate to my false brother, awakening evil nature and my trust, like a good parent, did beget on him a falsehood in as contrary as a great as my trust was, which had indeed no limit, a confidence sans bound. He being thus loaded, not only with what my revenue yielded, but what my power might else exact, like one who having into truth by telling of it, made such a sinner of his memory, to credit his own lie, he did believe he was indeed the Duke, out o' the substitution and executing the outward face of royalty, with all prerogative, hence his ambition growing. Dost thou hear? Your tale, sir, would cure deafness. To have no screen between this part he played, and him he played it for, he needs will be absolute Milan. Me, poor man, my library was dukedom large enough of temporal royalties. He thinks me now incapable, confederate, so dry he was far soiled. We, the king of Naples, to give him annual tribute, do him homage, subject his coinage to his crown, and been the dukedom yet unbound.
Dude,
Alas, poor Milan, to most
side at
ignoble
all.
stooping. Oh, the heavens! Mark his condition and the event, then tell me. If this might be a brother, I should sin to think but nobly of my grandmother. Good wombs have borne bad sons. Now the condition, the king of Naples, being an enemy to my invertebrate, hearkened my brother's suit, which was, that he in lieu owe the premises of homage, and I know not how much tribute should presently extirpate me and mine out of the dukedom, and confer fair Milan with all the honours on my brother, whereon a treacherous army levied one midnight fated. To the purpose did Antonio open the gates of Milan, and I, the dead of darkness, the ministers for the purpose hurried thence me and thy crying self. Alack for pity! I, not remembering how I cried out then, will cry it o'er again. It is a hint that brings mine eyes tit. Here a little further, and then I'll bring thee the present business which now's upon us, without the which this story were most impertinent. Wherefore did they not that hour destroy us? Well demanded wench, my tale provokes that question. Dear, they durst not. So dear the love my people bore me, nor set a mark so bloody on the business, but with colours fair painted their foul ends. In few they heard as aboard a bark, bore us some leagues at sea, where they prepared a rotten carcass of a boat, not rigged nor tackle, sail nor mast. The very rats instinctively have quit it. There they hoist us, to cry to the sea that roared to us, to sigh to the winds whose pity, sighing back again, did us but loving wrong. Alack, what trouble was I then to you? O our tribune, thou wast that did preserve me, thou didst smile, infused with a fortitude from heaven, when I have decked the sea with drops full salt, under my burden groaned, which raised in me an undergoing stomach to bear up against what should ensue. How came we ashore? My providence divine, some food we had and some fresh water that a noble Neapolitan, Gonzalo, out of his charity, who being then appointed master of his design, did give us, with rich garments, linen stuffs, and necessaries, which since have steadied much so of his gentleness. Knowing I loved my books, he furnished me, from mine own library, with volumes that I prize above my dukedom. Would I might but ever see that man! Now I rise. Now I arise. Sit still and hear the last of our sea sorrow. Here in this island we'd arrived, and here have I, thy schoolmaster, made thee more profit than other princes can, that have more time for vainer hours, and tutors not so careful. Heavens thank you for't. And know, I pray you, sir, for still 'tis beating in my mind your reason for raising this sea storm. Know thus far forth, by accident most strange, bountiful fortune, now my dear lady hath mine enemies brought to this shore, and by my prescience I find my zenith doth depend upon a most auspicious star, whose influence, if now I court not, but omit, my fortunes will ever after droop. Here cease more questions. Thou art inclined to sleep, 'tis a good dullness, and give it sway. I know thou canst not choose. Come away, servant, come, I'm ready now, approach my Ariel, come. Enter Ariel. All hail, great master, great sir, hail I come, to answer thy best pleasure, don't be too fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curled clouds, to the strong bidding task Ariel and all his quality. Hast thou spirit performed to point the tempest that I bade thee? To every article. I boarded the king's ship, now on the beak, now on the waist, the deck, and every cabin. I flamed amazement, sometimes I'll divide and burn in many places on this topmast, the yards, and bowsprit would I flame distinctively. Perfect. Then meeting and join Jove's lightning, the precursors. Oh, the dreadful thunder claps more momentary, and sight a surrounding or not, the fire and cracks. Oh, sulphurous roaring, the most mighty Neptune seemed to besiege and make this bold wave tremble. Yea, his dread trident shake. My brave spirit, who was so firm, so constant, that this coil will not infect his reason. Not a soul, but felt a fever of the mad, and played some trick of desperation. All but mariners plunged in the foaming brine, and quit the vessel, that all afire with me, the king's son, from Ferdinand. With hair up staring, then like reed, not hair, was the first man that leaped, cried, hell is emptied, and all the devils are here. Why, that's my spirit, But was not this nigh shore? Close by, my master. But are they, Ariel, safe? Not a hair perished. On their sustaining garments not a blemish, but fresher than before, and as thou best. In troops I've dispersed them about the isle. The king's son have I landed by himself, whom I left cooling of that air with sighs in an odd angle of the isle and sitting, his arms in this sad knot.
Ball dropped.
Oh, the king's ship, the mariners say how thou hast disposed, and all the rest of the fleet, safely in harbor is the king's ship in the deep nook, where once thou costedst me up at midnight to fetch dew from the still vexed Bermudes, there she's hid. The mariners all under hatches stowed, who with the charm joined to their suffered labor I have left asleep, and for the rest of the sleep which I dispersed they all have met again, and are upon the Mediterranean float, bound sadly home for Naples, supposing that they saw the king's ship wrecked, and his great person perish. Ariel, the charge exactly is performed, but there's more work. What is the time, oh, the day? Past the mid-season. At least 2 glasses. The time twixt 6 and now must by us both be spent both preciously. Is there more toil? Since thou dost give me pain, let me remember thee what thou hast promised, which is not yet performed to me. How now, Moody? What is't thou canst demand? My liberty, before the time be out no more. I prithee remember I have done thee worthy service, told thee no lies, made no mistakes, service without or grudge or grumbling thou didst promise. To bait me a full year, dost thou forget? From what a torment I did free thee. Thou dost and think it much to dread and ooze of the salt deep, to run upon the sharp wind of the north, to do me business in the veins of the earth when it's baked with frost. I do not, sir. Thou liest. Malignant thing, hast thou forgot the fowl which Circorex, who with age and envy was grown into a hoop? Hast thou forgot her? No, sir. Thou hast. Where was she born? Speak, tell me.
Lost the lead.
Sir, in Argier. Oh, was she so? I must, once in a month, recount what thou hast been, which thou forgettest, this Dan which Circoro. For mischiefs manifold and sorceries terrible to enter human hearing from Argier, thou knowest was banished for one thing she did.
Gained the lead.
They would take her life. Is not this true? Aye, sir. This blue-eyed hag was thither brought with child, and here was left by the sailors, thou my slave. As thou report thyself, wast then her servant, and for thou wast a spirit too delicate to act her earthy and aboard of commands. Refusing her grand hest, she did confine thee by helping of her more potent ministers, and in her most unmitigable rage, into a cloven pine within which rift imprisoned thou didst painfully remain, a dozen years, within which space she died, and left thee there, where thou didst vent thy groans. As fast as mill wheels strike, then was this island, save for the son that did litter here, a freckled whelp hath born, not honored with a human shape. Yes, Caliban, her son. Dull thing, I say so. He that Caliban, whom now I keep in service, thou best knowest what torment I did find thee in thy groans. Did make wolves howl and penetrate the breast of ever angry bears. It was a torment to lay upon the dam which Circor could not again undo. It was mine art, when I arrived and heard thee, and made gape the pine and let thee out. I thank thee, master. If thou more murmurest, I will render an oak, and peg thee in this knotty entrails till thou hast howled away 12 winters. Pardon, master, I will be correspondent to command, and do my spiriting gently. Do so, and after 2 days I will discharge thee. That's my noble master. What shall I do? Say what? What shall I do? Go make thyself like a nymph of the sea, be subject to no side but thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Go take this shape, and thither come ince, go thence with diligence. Awake, dear heart, awake, thou hast slept well, awake. The strangeness of your story put heaviness in me. Shake it off, come hither. We'll visit Caliban, my slave, who never yields us kind answer. 'Tis a villain, sir, I do not love to look on, but as 'tis, we cannot miss him. He does make our fire, fetch in our wood, and serves in
Enemy
offices that
has
profit
the ball.
us. What ho, slave Chris, thou earth, thou speak.
Ball dropped.
Within, there's a wood enough
We
within.
have the ball.
Come forth, I say, there's other business for thee. Come, thou tortoise, win. Re-enter Ariel like a water nymph. Fine apparition, my quaint Ariel, hark in thy ear. My lord, I shall be done. Thou poisonous slave, got by the devil himself, upon thy wicked dam come forth. Enter Chris. As wicked dew, as ere my mother brushed, with raven's feather from unwholesome fin, drop on you both. Soul west blow on ye, and blister you all o'er. For this be sure, tonight thou shalt have cramps. Side stitches that shall pin thy breath up, urchins, shall forth at vest of night, that they may work. All exercise on thee, thou shalt be pinched, as thick as honeycomb, each pinch more stinging than bees that made them. I must eat my dinner, this island's mine, my Sycorax, my mother, which thou takest from me when thou camest first. Thou strokest me, and madst much of me, wouldst give me water with berries in it, and teach me how to name the bigger light, and how the less that burned my day and night, and then I loved thee, and showed thee all the qualities o' the isle, the fresh spring, brine pits, barren place, and fertile. Cursed be I that did so. All the charms of Sycorax, toads, beetles, bats, light on you, for I am all the subjects that you have, which first was mine own king, and I hear you stye me. In this hard rock, while as you do keep from me the rest o' the island. Though most lion slave, whom stripes may move, not kindness, I have ushed thee. Filth as thou art, with human care, and lodged thee in mine own cell till thou didst seek to violate the honor of my child. Oho, oho! Would it had been done? Thou didst prevent me. I had people else this isle with Chris. Abhorred slave, which any print of goodness will not take, being capable of all ill, I pitied thee, took pains to make thee speak, taught thee each hour one thing or other, then thou didst not savage, know thine own meaning, but wouldst gabble like. A thing most brutish, I endowed thy purposes with words that made them known but thy vile race. Though thou didst learn, had that instant good natures, could not abide to be with, therefore wast thou deservedly confined into this rock? Who hadst deserved more than a prison? You taught me language, and my prophet on't. Is I know how to curse, the red plague rid you, for learning me your language. Hag seed hence. Fetch us in fuel, and be quick thou'rt best, to answer other business. Shrugg'st thou malice, if thou neglect'st, or dost unwillingly. What I command, I'll rack thee with old cramps, fill all thy bones with ashes, make thee roar, that beasts shall tremble at thy din. No, pray thee. I must obey, his art is of such power. It would control my damned god, Phaedobos, and make a vassal of him. So slave hence. Re-enter Ariel, invisible plain with singing, Ferdinand following. Ariel's song. Come unto these yellow sands, and then take hands. Curtsied when you have, and kissed, the wild waves whist. Foot it featly here and there, and sweet sprites the burden bear. Hark, hark. Burden, bow wow dispersely, the watchdogs bark. Burden, bow wow dispersely, hark, hark, I hear the strain of strutting canticleer. Cock-a-diddle-dow. Where should this music be? I, the air of the earth. It sounds no more, and sure it awaits upon some god at the island, sitting on a bank, weeping again the king my father's wrack. This music crept by me upon the waters, allaying both their fury and my passion. With its sweet air thence I have followed it, or it hath drawn me rather, but 'tis gone, no, it begins again. Ariel sings. Full fathom 5 thy father lies, of his bones are coral made, those are pearls that were his eyes, nothing of him that doth fade, but doth suffer a sea change into something rich and strange, sea nymphs hourly ring his bell. Burn, ding-dong, hark, now I hear them, ding-dong bell. The ditty does remember my drowned father. This is no mortal business, nor no sound that the earth owes, I hear it now above me. The fringed curtains of thine eye advance, and say what thou seest yond. What is a spirit? Lord, how it looks about! Believe me, sir, it carries a brave form, but 'tis a spirit. No wench, it eats and sleeps, and hath suchnesses as we have such. This gallant which thou seest was in the rack, and but he's something stained with grief. That's beauty's canker, thou mightst call him. A goodly person, he hath lost his fellows, and strays about to find him. I might call him a thing divine, for nothing natural I ever saw no so noble. It goes on, I see. As my soul prompts it, spirit find spirit, I'll free thee within 2 days for this. Most sure the goddess on whom these airs attend, vouchsafe my prayer, may know if you remain upon this island, and that you will some good instruction give how I may bear me here. My prime request, which I do last pronounce, is, oh, you wonder, if you be maid or no. No wonder, sir, but certainly a maid. My language, heavens, I am the best of them that speak this speech, where I put word to spoken. How the best? What wert thou if the King of Naples heard thee? A single thing, as I am now, that wonders. To hear thee speaks of Naples, he doth hear me, and that he does, I weep myself of Naples, who, with mine eyes, ne'er since the ebb, beheld the king my father racked. Alack for mercy! Yes, faith, and all his lords, the Duke of Milan, and his brave son be in twain. The Duke of Milan, and his more braver daughter could control thee, if now 'twere fit to do't, at first sight. They have changed eyes, delicate Ariel. I'll set thee free of this. A word, good sir. I fear you have done yourself some wrong. A word. Why speaks my father so urgently? This is the third man that e'er I saw. The first that e'er I sighed for pity moved my father to be inclined my way. Oi, if a virgin, and your affection not gone forth, I'll make you the Queen of Naples. Soft sir, one word more. They are both in either's power, but this swift business I must uneasy make, lest too light, swinning, make the prize light. One word more I charge thee, that thou attend me. Thou dost here usurp, that name thou us not, and that hast put myself upon the island as a spy to win it from me, the Lord on't. No, as I am a man, there's nothing ill can dwell in such a temple. If the ill spirit have so fair a house, good things will strive to dwell with. Follow me. Speak not you for him, he's a traitor. I'll manacle thy neck and feet together. Sea water shalt thou drink, thy food shall be the fresh brook mussels, withered roots and husk, wherein the acorn cradled. Follow. No. I will resist such entertainment till my enemy has more power. He draws and his charms from moving. Oh, dear father, make not too rash a trial of him, for he's gentle and not fearful. What? I say, my foot, my tutor? Put thy sword up, traitor. Who makest a show, but darkest not strike, thy conscience is so possessed with guilt. Come from thy word. For I can here disarm thee with this stick, and make thy weapon drop. Beseech you, father. Hence, hang not on my garments. Sir, I have pity. I'll be his surety. Silence. One word more shall make me chide thee, if not hate thee. What? An advocate for an impostor, hush. Thou think'st there is no more such shapes as he, having seen but him and Chris foolish wrench. To the most of men this is a Chris, and they to him are angels. My affections are then most humble, I have no ambition to see a goodlier men. Come on, obey. Thy nerves are in their infancy again, and have no vigor in them. So they are. My spirits, as in a dream, are all bound up. My father's loss, the weakness which I feel, the rack of all my friends of this man's threats, to whom I am subdued, are but light to me. Might I but through my prison once a day behold this maid, all corners else the earth, the liberty make use of space enough, have I in such a prison. It works. Come on, thou hast done well. Fine, Ariel. Follow me. Heart, what thou else shalt do me. Be of comfort. My father's of a better nature, sir, than he appears my speech. This is unwanted, which now came from him. Thou shalt be as free as mountain winds, but then exceedingly do all points of my command. To the syllable. Come, follow, speak not for him.
kill.
Hold on. Bilbo there and back again, bro? Should I throw down there and back again? You ain't gonna argue with Bilbo.
Target spotted. Killing spree. Your team scored. Enemy team scoring. In my sights. Your team scoring. Enemy team scored. Multiple hostiles spotted.
Okay, so moving forward here. Get away from that. Act 2 of The Tempest by William Shakespeare and Clayton Smith, apparently. Act 2, Scene 1, another part of the island. Enter Alonso, Sebastian, Antonio, Gonzalo, Adrian, Francisco, and others. Beseech you, sir, be merry. You have cause, so have we all of joy, for our escape is much beyond our loss. Our hint of woe is common every day. Some sailor's wife, the masters of some merchant, and the merchant have just our theme of woe, but for their miracle, I mean our preservation. Few in millions can speak like us. Then wisely, good sir, weigh our sorrow with our comfort. Prithee, peace. He receives comfort like cold porridge. The visitor will not give him or himself. Look, he's winding up the watch of his wit. By and by it will strike. Sir. One, tell. When every grief is entertained, that's offered. Comes to the entertainer. $1. Dolor comes to him. Indeed, you have spoken truer than you proposed. You have taken it wiselier than I meant it you should. Therefore, my lord, fie, what a spendthrift is he of his tongue. I prithee spare. Well, I have done, but yet he will be talking. Which of he or Adrian for good wager first begins to crow? The old cock, the cockerel. Done? The wager? A laughter, a match. Though this island seems to be desert, so you're paid. Uninhabitable and almost inaccessible. Yet he could not miss it. It must needs be of subtle, tender, and delicate temperance. Temperance was a delicate wench. Aye, and as subtle as he most learnedly delivered. The air breathes upon us here most sweetly, as if had lungs and rotten ones, or as 'twere perfumed by a thing. Here is everything advantageous to life. True, save means to life. Of that there's none or little. How lush and lusty the grass looks, how green. The ground indeed is tawny, with an eye of green it. He misses not much. No, he doth but mistake the truth totally. But the rarity of it is, which is indeed almost beyond credit, as many vouched rarities are, that our garments, being as they were, drenched in the sea, hold notwithstanding their freshness and glosses, being rather new dyed than stained with salt water. If but one of his pockets would speak, would it not say he lies? Aye, or very falsely pocket up his report. Methinks our garments are now as fresh as when we put them on first in Afric, in the marriage of the king's fair daughter, Claribel, to the king of Tunis. 'Twas a sweet marriage, and we prosper well in our return. Tunis was never graced before such a paragon to their queen, not since Widow Ditto's time. Widow, a pox, so that. How came they in Widow Ditto? What if he had said, widower, Aeneas too? Good lord, how you take it. Widow Ditto, said you? You make me study of that. She was of Carthage, not of Tunis.
Enemy there.
This Tunis, sir, was Carthage. Carthage? I assure you, Carthage, his word is more than a miraculous harp. He hath raised the wall and houses too. What impossible matter will he make easy next? I think he will carry this island home in his pocket and give it in his son for an apple. And sowing the kernels of it in the sea bring forth more islands. Aye? Why, in good time. Sir, we were talking that our garment seemed now as fresh as when we were at Tunis at the marriage of your daughter, who is now queen. And the rarest that e'er came there, bait, I beseech you, widow ditto. Oh, widow ditto, widow ditto. Is not, sir, my doublet as fresh as the first day I wore it? I mean in a sort. That sort was well fished for, when I wore it as your daughter's marriage. You cram these words into mine ears against the stomach of my sense. Would I had never married my daughter there. For coming thence my son is lost, and in my rate she too, who is so far from Italy removed. I ne'er again shall see her. O thou mine heir of Naples, and in Milan, what strange fish hath made his meal on thee? Sir, he may live. I saw him beat the surges under him, and ride upon their backs. He trod the water, whose enmity flung aside, and breasted the surge most swoon that met him. His bold head above the contentious wave, he kept and oared himself with his good arms and lusty stroke. To the shore that share this wave worn basis bode, as stooping to relieve him, I not doubt he came alive to land. No, he's gone. Sir, you may thank yourself for this great loss. Thou would not bless our Europe with your daughter, but rather lose her in an African, where she at least is banished from your eye, who hath cause to wet the grief and haunt. Prithee, peace. You were kneel to and importuned otherwise, by all of us and the fair soul herself, weighed between lothness and obedience, at which end o'er the beam should bow. We have lost your son. I fear forever Milan and Naples have more widows in them of this business making than we bring men to comfort them. The fault's your own, so is the dearest of the loss, my lord Sebastian. The truth you speak doth lack some gentleness, and time to speak an end. You rub the sore when you should bring the plaster. Very well, and most chirurgeonly. It is foul weather in us all, good sir, when you are cloudy. Foul weather? Very foul. Had I plantation of this isle, my lord, he'd sowed with nettle seed, or doxo Mars, and there the king ought, what would I do? Skate being drunk for want of wine, I the commonwealth I would be contrarious, execute all things for no kind of traffic would I admit, no name of magistrate, letters should not be known, riches, poverty, and use of service, none, contract, succession, born, bound of land, tilth, vineyard, none, no use of metal, corn, or wine, or oil, no occupation, all men all women too, but innocent and pure, no sovereignty. Yet he would be king on't the latter end of his commonwealth forgets the beginning. All things in common nature should produce, without sweet or endeavor, treason, felony, sword, pike, knife, gun, or need of any engine. Would I not have, but nature should bring forth, of its own kind, all poison, all abundance, to feed my innocent people. No marrying among his subjects, none man all idle, whores and knaves. I would with such perfection govern, sir, to excel the golden age. Save his majesty, long live Gonzalo. And do you mark me, sir? Prithee, no more, thou dost talk nothing to me. I do well believe your highness, and did it to minister occasion to these gentlemen, who are of such sensible and nimble lungs that they always used to laugh at nothing. 'Twas you who laughed at, who in this kind of merry fooling am nothing to you, so you may continue and laugh at nothing still. What a blow was there given, and it had not fallen flat long. You are gentlemen of a brave metal. You would lift the moon out of her sphere if she would continue in 5 weeks without changing. Enter aerial, invisible, plain, solemn music. We would so, and then go about fouling. Nay, good my lord, be not angry. No, I warrant you, I will not adventure my discretion so weakly. Will you laugh me to sleep, for I am very heavy? Go asleep and hear us. What, all so soon asleep? I wish mine eyes would with themselves shut up my thoughts. I find they are inclined to do so. Please you, sir, do not omit the heavy offer of it. It seldom visits sorrow. When it doth, it is comforter. We too, my lord, will guard your person while you take your rest, and watch your safety. Thank you, wondrous heavy. Exit Ariel. What a strange drowsiness possesses them! It is the quality of the climate. Why doth it not then our eyelids sink? I find not myself disposed to sleep. Nor I my spirits are nimble. They all fall together all, as by consent. They dropped as by thunderstroke. What might? Worthy Sebastian. Oi, what might? No more, and yet methinketh I see it in thy face. What thou shouldst be. The occasion speaks thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head. What art thou waking? Do you not hear me speak? I do, and surely it is sleepy language, and thou speakest out of my sleep. What is it thou didst say? This is a strange repose, to be asleep with eyes wide open, standing, speaking, moving, and yet so false, so fast asleep. And yet so false asleep. Noble Sebastian, thou lett'st thy fortune sleep, die rather, winkest while thou art waking. Thou dost snore distinctly, there's meaning in thy snores. I am more serious than my custom. You must be so too, if heed me, which to do troubles thee ill. Well, I am standing water. I'll teach you how to flow. Do so to ebb. Hereditary sloth instructs me. Oi! If you but knew how you the purpose cherish whilst thus you mock it, how in stripping it you move invest it. Ebbing men, indeed, most often do so near the bottom run, be their own fear on sloth. Prithee say on. The setting of thy iron cheek proclaim a matter from thee, and a birth indeed, which throws thee much to yield. Thus, sir, although this lord of weak remembrance, this who shall be of his as little memory, when he is earth's hath here almost so persuaded. For he's the spirit of persuasion, only professes to persuade the king his sons alive. 'Tis as impossible that he's undrowned, as he that sleeps here swims. I have no hope that he's undrowned. Oi, out of that no hope. What great hope have you? No hope that way is another way so high, a hope that even ambition cannot pierce the weak beyond, but doubts to cover there. Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned? He's gone. Then tell me who's the next heir of Naples. Chris. She that is queen of Tunis, she that dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life, she that from Naples can have no note unless the sun were post, the man eye the moon's too slow till newborn chins be rough and raisable. She that from whom? We all were sea swallowed, though some cast again, and by that destiny perform an act. Wherefore what's past is prologue, what to come in yours and my discharge. What stuff is this? How say you? 'Tis true, my brother's daughter, queen of Tunis. So is she heir of Naples, twixt which regions there is some space. A space whose every cubit seems to cry out, how shall that Clara Chris measure us back at Naples, keep in Tunis, and let Sebastian wake? Say this were death that now hath seized him, why they were no worse than now they are, there be that can rule Naples, as well as he that sleeps lords that can pirate as amply and unnecessarily. As this Gonzalo, I myself could make a chow deep chat. Oh, that you bore the mind that I do, what a sleep were his for your advancement. Do you understand me? Methinks I do. And now does your content tender your own good fortune? I remember you did supplant your brother Prospero. True, and look how well my garments sit upon me. Much feather than before my brother's servants were than my fellows, now they are my men. But for your conscience, aye, sir, where lies that? If it were a kibe, 'twould put me to my slipper. But I feel not this deity in my bosom. 20 consciences that stand twixt me and Milan can indeed be they, and melt ere they molest. Here lies your brother. No better than the earth he lies upon, if he were that which now he's alike that's dead, whom I, with his obedient steel, 3 inches of it, can lay to bed forever, while you doing thus, to the perpetual wink, for I might put this ancient morsel, this Sir Prudence, who should not abrade our course. For all the rest, they'll take suggestion as a cat laps milk. They'll tell the clock of any business that we say befits the hour. Thy case, dear friend, shall be my precedent. As thou goest to Milan, I'll come by Naples. Draw thy sword, one stroke shall free thee from the tribute which thou payest, and I, the king, shall love thee. Draw together, and when I rear my hand, do you the like, to fall it on Gonzalo. Oi, but one word. Re-enter Ariel, invisible. My master, through his art, foresee the danger that you, his friend, are in, and sends me forth, for else this project dies, to keep thee living. Sings in Gonzalo's ear. While you're here, do snoring lie, open-eyed conspiracy, his time doth take. If of life you keep a care, shake off slumber and beware. Awake, awake. Then let us both be sudden. Now, good angels, preserve the king. Why, how now? Awake! Why are you drawn? Wherefore this ghastly looking? What's the matter? While we stood here secure in your repose, even now we heard a hollow burst of bellowing like bulls or rabid lions. Did it not wake you? It struck mine ear most terribly. I heard nothing. Oi, 'twas a din of fright, a monster's ear, to make an earthquake sure it was a roar of a whole herd of lions.
We have the ball. Ball
Heard
drop.
you this, Gonzalo?
Enemy has the ball.
Upon my honor, sir, I heard a humming, and that a strange one too, which did awake me. I shaked you, sir, and cried as mine eyes opened. I saw their weapons drawn. There was a noise, that's fairly, 'tis best we stand upon our guard, or that we'd quit this place. Let's draw our weapons, lead off this ground, and let's make further research for my
We
poor
have the
son.
ball.
Heavens keep him from these beasts, for he is sure I is the island. Lead away. Prospero, my lord, shall know what have I done. The king go safely on to seek thy son. Scene 2, another part of the island. Enter Chris with a burden of wood and noise of thunder heard. All the infections that the sun sucks up from bogs, fens, flats on prosper fall, and make him by inch meal a disease. His spirits hear me, and yet I needs must curse. But they'll nor pinch, fright me with urchin shows, pitch me I the mire, nor lead me like a firebrand in the dark out of my way, unless he bid 'em. But for every trifle are they set upon me, sometime like apes that mow and chatter at me, and after bit bite me. Then like hedgehogs, which like tumbling in my barefoot way, and mount their pricks at my footfall. Sometime am I all wound with adders, who with cloven tongues do hiss me into
Enemy
madness.
has the ball.
Enter Trinculo. Lo now, lo! Here comes a spirit of his, and to torment me for bringing wood and slowly. I'll fall flat. Perchance he will not mind me. Here's neither bush nor shrub to bear off any weather at all, and another storm brewing, I hear it sing. I the wind, yon same black cloud, yon huge one. Looks like a foul bombard that would shed his liquor. If it should thunder as it did before, I know not where to hide my head. Yon same cloud cannot choose but fall by pailfuls. What have we here? A man or a fish, dead or alive?
Round one.
A fish he smells like a fish, a very ancient, and fish smell like a kind of not of the newest poor John. A strange fish. Were I in England now, as once I was, and had but this fish painted, not a holiday fool there, but would give a piece of silver, there would this monster make a man. Any strange beast there makes a man. When they will not give a doit to receive a lame beggar, they will lay out 10 to see a dead Indian, legged like a man, and his fins like arms. Warm on my troth, I do not let loose my opinion, hold it no longer. This is no fish, but an islander that hath lately suffered by a thunderbolt. Alas! The storm has come again. My best way is to creep under his garbadine. There is no other shelter hereabout. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows. I will here shroud till the dregs of the storm be past. Enter Stefano singing a bottle in his hand.
Ball drop. Enemy has the ball.
I shall no more to see, here shall I die ashore.
Ball drop.
This is a very scurvy time, tuned to sing of a man's funeral. Well, here's my comfort.
Ball drop.
Drinks. The master, the swabber, the boatswain and I, the gunner and his mate, loved Moll, Meg, and Marion, and Marjorie, but none of us cared for Kate. For she had a tongue with a tang, would cry to a sailor, go hang. She loved not the savor of tar nor tibbitch. Yet a traitor might scratch her where'er she did itch, then to see boys and let her go hang. This is a scurvy tune too, but here's my comfort. Do not torment me, oi. What's the matter? Have we devils here?
Ball reset.
Do you put tricks upon us with savages and men of end? Ha! I have not escaped drowning to be afeard now of your 4 legs. For it hath been said, as proper a man as ever went on 4 legs cannot make him give ground. And it shall be said so again, while Stefano breathes at nostrils. The spirit torments me, oi. This is some monster of the isle with 4 legs, who hath got, as I take it, an egg where the devil should learn our language. I will give him some belief, if it be put for that, if I can recover him and keep him tame and go to Naples with him. He's a present tame and get to Naples with him. He's a present for any emperor that ever trod on neat leather.
Enemy has the ball.
Do not torment me, pretty. I'll bring my wood home faster. He's in his fit now, and does not talk after the wisest. He shall taste of my bottle. If he have ever drunk wine, for it will go near to remove this fit. If I can recover him and keep him tame, I will not take too much for him. He shall pay for him, and hath him, and that soundly. Thou dost me yet but little hurt. Thou wilt anon, I know it by thy trembling. Now prosper works upon me. Come on your ways, open your mouth. Here is that which will give language to you, cat. Open your mouth, this will shake your shaking. I can tell you, and that soundly. You cannot tell who's your friend. Open your chaps again. I should know that voice. It should be, but he is drowned, and these are devils. Oy defend me. 4 legs and 2 voices, a most delicate monster. His forward voice now is to speak well of his friend. His backward voice is to utter foul speeches and to detract. If all the wine in my body will recover him, I will help his egg. Come, amen. I will pour some of thy other mouth. Stephano, doth thy other mouth call me? Mercy, mercy, this is a devil and no monster. I will leave him, I have no long spoon. Stephano, if thou beast Stephano, touch me and speak to me, for I am Trinculo. Be not feared, thy good friend Trinculo. If thou beast Trinculo, come forth. I'll pull thee by the lesser legs, if any be Trinculo's legs, these are they. Thou art very Trinculo indeed. How camest thou to be the siege of this mooncalf? Can he vent Trinculos? I took him not drowned. I took him to be killed with a thunderstroke, but art thou not drowned, Stephano? I hope not. Now thou art not drowned. Is the storm overblown? I hid me under the dead mooncalf's gabberdown for fear of the storm. And art thou living, Stephano? Oh, Stephano, two Napolitan escaped. Prithee do not turn me about, my stomach is not constant. These be fine things, and if they be not sprites, that's brave God and bears celestial liquor, I will kneel to him. How didst thou escape? How camest thou hither? Swear by this bottle how thou camest thither. I escaped upon a butt of sack, which of the sailors heaved on board by this bottle, which I made of the bark of a tree with mine own hands, since I was cast ashore. I'll swear upon that bottle to be thy true subject, for the liquor is not earthly. Here swear then, how thou escapest, swarm ashore, man like a duck. I can swim like a duck, I'll be sworn. Here kiss the book, though thou canst swim like a duck, thou art made like a goose. O Stephano, hast any more of this? The whole but, man, my cellar is like a rock by a seaside, where my wine is hid. How now, mooncalf, how does thine argue? Hast thou not dropped from heaven? Out to the moon I do assure thee, I was the man in the moon, when time was. I have seen thee in her, and I do adore thee. My mistress showed me thee, and thy dog, and thy bush. Come, swear to that, kiss the book. I will furnish in anon with new content swear. By this good light, this is a very shallow monster, I fear of him. A very weak monster. The man I the moon, O most poor, credulous monster, well-drawn monster, in good sooth. I'll show thee every fruitful inch of the island, and I will kiss thy foot, O prithee, to be my God. By this light, a most perfidious and drunken monster, when his God's asleep, he'll rob his bottle. I'll kiss thy foot, I'll swear thyself thy subject. Come on then, drown, and swear. I shall laugh myself to death at this puppy-headed monster, a most scurvy monster I could find in my heart, and to beat him. Come kiss, but that the poor monster and drink, an abominable monster. I'll shew thee the best springs, I'll pluck thee berries, I'll fish for thee, and get the wood enough. A plague upon the tyrant and I serve. I'll bear him no more sticks, but follow thee, that wondrous man. A man, ridiculous monster, make a wonder of a poor drunkard. I prithee, let me bring thee where crabs grow, and I with my long nails will dig thee pig nuts, show thee a jay's nest, and instruct thee how to snare the nimble marmoset. I'll bring thee to clustering filberts, and sometimes I'll get thee young scammels from the rock. Wilt thou go with me? I prithee now, let's lead the way without any more talking, Trinculo. The king and all our company else being drowned, we will inherit here. Here bear my bottle. Follow Trinculo. We'll fill him by and by again. Farewell, master, farewell, farewell. Trin, a howling monster, a drunken monster. No more dams I'll make for fish, nor fetch and firing at requiring, nor scrape tincturing, nor wash dish. Ban, Chris. Has a new master, get a new man. Freedom, high day, freedom, freedom, high day, freedom. Oh, brave master, lead the way.
We have the ball.
That's funny and ironic to me. Please continue. Act 3 of The Tempest by William Shakespeare. Scene 1. Before Prospero's cell. Enter Ferdinand bearing a log. There be some sports are painful, and their labor. Delight in them sets off some kind of baseness are nobly undergone, and most poor matters point to rich ends. This my mean task would be as heavy to me as odious, but the mistress which I serve quickens what's dead, and makes my labor's pleasure. Oi, she is 10 times more gentle than her father's crabbed, and he's composed of harshness. I must remove some thousands of these logs and pile them up upon a sore injunction. My sweet mistress weeps when she sees me work, and says such baseness had never like executor. I forget, but these sweet thoughts do even refresh my labors, most busiest when I do it. Enter Miranda and Prospero behind. Alas, now pray you, work not so hard, I would the lightning had burnt up those logs that you are enjoined to pile. Pray set it down and rest you, when this burns, 'twill weep for having wearied you. My father is hard at study, pray now rest yourself. He's safe for these 3 hours. O most dear mistress, the sun will set before I shall discharge what I must strive to do. If you'll sit down, I'll bear your logs the while. Pray give me that I'll carry to the pile. No precious creature, I had rather crack my sinews, break my back, than you should such dishonor undergo while I sit lazy by. It would become me as well as it does you, and I should do it with much more ease, for my good will is to it, and yours it is against. Poor worm, thou art infected, this visitation shows it. You look wearily. No, noble mistress, 'tis fresh morning with me, when you are by night. I do beseech you, chiefly, that I might set it in my prayers. What is your name?
In my sight.
Miranda, O my father. I have broke your best to say so. Admired Miranda, indeed the top of admiration worth what's dearest to the world. Full many a lady I have eyed with the best regard, and many a time that harmony of their tongues hath into bondage brought me to diligent ear. For several virtues have I liked several women, never any with so full sow, but some defect in her did quarrel with the noblest grace she owed, and put it into foil. But you, oi you, so perfect and so peerless, I created of every creature's best. I do not know one of my sex, no woman's face remember, save from my glass mine own, nor have I seen more that I may call men than you, good friend, and my dear father. How features are abroad, I am skilless of, but of my modesty, the jewel in my dower, I would not wish any companion in the world but you, nor can imagination form a shape, beside yourself to like of. But I prattle something too wildly, and my father's precepts I therein do forget. I am in my condition of prince, Miranda. I do think the king. I would not so, and would do more and dearer. This wooden slavery than to suffer. The flesh fly below my mouth. Hear my soul speak. The very instant that I saw you did, my heart fly to your service. There resides to make me slave to it, and for your sake am I this patient log man. Do you love me? O heaven, O earth, bear witness to this sound, and crown what I profess with kind event if I speak true, if hollowly invert what best is boded me to mischief. I, beyond all limit of what I else, I the world, do love, prize, honor you. I am a fool to weep at what I am glad of. Fair encounter or two, most rare affections, heaven's rain grace on that which beads between them. Wherefore weep you? At mine unworthiness, that dare not offer what I desire to give, and much less take what I shall die to want. But this is trifling, and all the more it seeks to hide itself, the bigger bulk it shows, hence bashful cunning, and prompts me, plain and holy innocence. I am your wife, if you will marry me. If not, I'll die your mate, to be your fellow. You may deny me, but I'll be your servant, whether you will or no. My mistress, dearest, and I thus humble ever. My husband, then, I, with a heart as willing, as bondage ere, O freedom, here's my hand, and mine, with my heart in it, and now farewell, till half an hour hence. 1,000,000. So glad of this as they I cannot be, who are surprised withal, but my rejoicing that nothing can be more. I'll to my book, for yet ere supper time, but I perform much business appertaining. Scene 2. Another part of the island. Enter Chris with a bottle of Stefano and Trinculo. Tell not me, when the butt is out, we will drink water, not a drop before. Therefore bear up and boredom, servant monster, drink to me. Servant monster, the folly of this island. They say there's but 5 upon this isle. We are 3 of them. If the other 2 of the brain be like us, the state trotters. Drink, servant monster, when I bid thee. The eyes are almost set in thy head. Where should they be set else? He were a brave monster indeed, if they were set in this tale. My man monster hath drowned his tongue in sack. For my part, the sea cannot drown me. I swam ere I could recover the shore, 35 leagues off and on by this light. Thou shalt be my lieutenant, monster, or my standard. Your lieutenant, if you list? He's no standard. Will not run, monsieur monster, nor go neither, but you'll lie like dogs, and yet say nothing neither. Mooncalf, speak once in thy life, if thou be'st a good mooncalf. How does thy honor? Let me lick thy shoe, I'll not serve him, he is not valiant. Thou liest, most ignorant monster, I am in case to justle a constable. Why, thou debauched fish thou, was there ever a man, a coward, that hath drunk so much sack as I today? Wert thou tell a monstrous lie, being but half a fish and half a monster? Lo, how he mocks me. Wilt thou let him, my lord? Lord, quoth he, that a monster should be such a natural. Lo, again, bite him to death, I prithee. Trinculo, keep a good tongue in your head, if you prove a mutineer the next tree. The poor monster's my subject, and he shall not suffer indignity. I thank my noble lord. Wilt thou be pleased to hearken once again the suit I made thee? Mary, will I kneel and repeat it. I will stand, and so shall Trinculo. Enter Ariel, invisible. As I told thee before, I am subject to a tyrant, a sorcerer, that by his cunning hath cheated me of the island. Thou liest. Thou liest, thou jesting monkey, thou. I would my valiant master would destroy thee. I do not lie. Trinculo, if you trouble him any more in his tale, by this hand I will supplant some of your teeth. Why, I said nothing. Mum, then, and no more. Proceed. I say by sorcery he got this isle. From me he got it. If thy greatness will, revenge it on him. For I know thou darest, but this thing dare not. That's most certain. Thou shalt be lord of it, and so serve thee. Victory. How now shall this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the party? Yea, my lord, I'll yield him thee asleep, where thou mayst knock a nail into his head. Thou liest, thou canst not. What a pied ninny's this? Thou scurvy patch, I do beseech thy greatness, give him blows, and take his bottle from him. When that's gone, he shall drink naught but brine, for I'll not show him where the quick freshes are. Trinculo, run into no further danger. Interrupt the monster one word further, and by the hand I'll turn my mercy out odors, and make a stockish of thee. Why, what did I? I did nothing. I'll go further off. Didst thou not say he lied? Thou liest. Do I so? Take thou that. As you like this, give me the lie another time. I do not give thee the lie, out of your wits and hearing too. A prox, oh, your bottle, this can sack and drink and do. A murmuring on your monster, and the devil take your fingers. Ha! Now forward with your tale. Prithee, stand further off. Beat him enough. After a little time, I'll beat him too. Stand further. Come, proceed. Why, as I told thee, 'tis a custom with him. Aye, the afternoon to sleep, there thou mayst brain him. Having first seized his books, or with a log, batter his skull, or punch him with a stake, or cut his weazen with his knife. Remember first to possess his books, for without them he's but a sot, as I am, nor hath not one spirit to command. They'll all do hate him as rootedly as I. Burn but his books, he has brave utensils, for so he calls them, which when he has a house he'll deck withal, and that most deeply to consider is the beauty of the daughters he himself calls her a non-peril. I never saw a woman, but only a Sycorax, my dam, and she. But she as far surpasseth Sycorax, as great does least.
Neutral bomb.
Is it so brave a less? Ah, Lord, she will become thy bed, I warrant, and bring thee forth brave brood. Monster, I will kill this man, his daughter and I will be king and queen. Save our graces, and Trinculo and thyself shall be viceroys. Dost thou like to plot, Trinculo? Excellent. Give me thy hand. I am sorry I beat thee, but while thou livest, keep a good tongue in thy head. Within this half hour will he be asleep. Wilt thou destroy him then? Aye, on mine honor. This will I tell my master. Thou makest me merry, I am full of pleasure. Let us be jocund. Will you troll the catch you taught me before while ere? At thy request, monster, I will do reason. Any reason. Come on, Trinculo, let us sing. Sings. Flout 'em and scout 'em and scout 'em and flout 'em. Thought is free. That's not the tune. Ariel plays the tune on a tabor and pipe. What is this name? This is the tune of our catch, played by the picture of nobody. If thou be'st a man, show thyself in thy likeness. If thou be'st a devil, take as thou list. Oh, forgive me my sins. He that dies pays all debts. I defy thee. Mercy upon us. Art thou afeard? No, monster, not I. Be not afeard. The isle is full of noises, sounds, and sweet airs, and give delight, and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about mine ears, and sometimes voices, that if I then had waked after long sleep, will make me sleep again, and then in dreaming the clouds methought would open and show reaches, ready to drop upon me, that I, when I waked, I cried to dream again. This will prove a brave kingdom to me, where I shall have my music for nothing. When prosperity is destroyed, what shall be by and by, I remember the story. The sound is going away, let's follow it, and after do our work. Lead monster will follow. I would I could see this tabor, he lays it on. Wilt come? I'll follow, Stefano. Scene 3. Another part of the island. Enter Alonso, Sebastian, Antonio, Gonzalez, Adrian, Francisco, and others. By our Lakin, I can go no further, sir. By old bones ache, here the maze trod indeed, through forthrights and meanders, by your patience, I needs must rest me. O Lord, I cannot blame thee, who in myself attached with weariness, to the dulling of my spirit sit down and rest. Even here I will put off my hope, and keep it no longer from my flatterer. He is drowned, whom thus we stray to find, and the sea mocks our frustrate search on land. We'll let him go. I am right glad that he's so out of hope. Do not for one repulse forgo the purpose that you resolve to effect. The next advantage will we take thoroughly. Let it be tonight, for now they are pressed with travel. They will not, nor cannot, use such vigilance as when they are fresh. I say tonight, no more. Solemn and strange music, and Prospero above invisible. Enter below several strange shapes, bringing in a banquet. They dance about it with the gentle actions of salutation, and in inviting the king and sea to eat, they depart.
Bomb army. Bomb arm.
What army is this, my good friends? Hark! Marvelous sweet music. Give us kind keepers heavens. What were these? A living drollery. Now I will believe that there are unicorns, that in Arabia there is one tree, the phoenix throne, one phoenix, at this hour reigning there. I'll believe both. At what does else want credit? Come to me, and I'll be sworn 'tis true, travelers ne'er did lie, though fools at home condemn them. If in Naples I should report this now, would they believe me? If I should say I saw such islanders? For certes, these are people of the island, who though they are of monstrous shape, yet note, their manners are more gentle kind than of our human generation. You have find many, nay, almost any. Honest Lord, thou hast said well, for some of you there present are worse than devils. I cannot too much muse. Such shapes, such gestures, and such sound expressing, although they want the use of tongue, a kind of excellent dumb discourse. Praise in departing, they vanish strangely. No matter, since they have left their vans behind, we have stomachs. Will it please you to taste of what is here? Not I. Faith, sir, you need not fear. When we were boys, why would believe that there was mountaineers, dew lapped like bulls, whose throats and hanging at them wallets of flesh, or that there was much men whose heads stood in their breasts, which now we find. Each put her out of the fire for one will bring us good warrant of. I will stand to and feed, although my last no matter, since I feel the best is past. Brother, my lord the duke, stand to and do as we. Thunder and lightning enter aerial like a harpy, claps his wings upon the table, and with a quaint device the banquet vanishes. You are 3 men of sin, whom destiny that hath to instrument this lower world, and what is in't, the never surfeited sea, hath caused to belch up you, and on this island where man doth not inhabit, you monks men, being most unfit to live, I have made you mad. Seeing along, draw their swords, and even with such like valor, men hang and drown. For proper selves, you fools, I and my fellows are ministers of fate. The elements of whom your swords are tempered may as well wound the loud winds, or with bimicked at stabs, kill the still closing waters, as diminish one dow that's in my plume. My fellow ministers are like invulnerable. If you could hurt, your swords are now too messy for your strength, and will not be uplifted. But remember, for that's my business to you, that you 3 from Milan did supplant good Prospero, expose unto the sea, which hath requited him and his innocent child, for which foul deed the powers delaying not forgetting have incensed the seas and shores, yea, all the creatures, against your peace. Thee of thy son Alonso they have bereft and due to pronounce by me lingering perdition, worse than any death can be at once, shall step by step attend you in your ways, whose wrath to guard you from, which here in this most desolate isle else falls upon your heads, is nothing but heart sorrow and a clear life assuming. He vanishes in thunder, then to soft music enter the shapes again and dance with mocks and mows and carry out the table. Bravely the figure of this harpy hast thou performed my aerial. A grace it had, devouring of my instruction, hast thou nothing bated, and what thou hast to say? So, with good life and observation strange, my meaner ministers their several kinds have done. My high charms work, and these mine enemies are all knit up. In their distractions they now are in my power, and in these fits I leave them, while I visit young Ferdinand, whom they suppose is drowned, and his and mine loves darling. I, the name of something holy, sir, why I stand you in this strange stare? Oi, it is monstrous, monstrous. Methought the billows spoke and told me of it. The winds did sing it to me, and the thunder, the deep and dreadful organ pipe, pronounced the name of Prosper. It is past by trespass. Therefore, my son, I the ooze is bedded, and I'll seek him deeper than e'er plummet sounded, and with him there lie mudded. But one fiend at a time, I'll fight their legion's error. I'll be thy second. All three of them are desperate, their great guilt, like poison given to work a great time after. Now gins to bite the spirits, I do beseech you that are of simpler joints. Follow them swiftly and hinder them from what this ecstasy may now provoke them to. Follow, I pray you.
Bomb dropped.
Act 4,
5
Tempest,
minutes remaining.
William Shakespeare.
Bomb taken.
Scene 1. Before Prospero's cell. Enter Prospero, Ferdinand, and Miranda. If I have too austerely punished you, your compensation makes amends, for I have given you here a third of mine own life, or that for which I live, whom once again I tender to thy hand. All thy vexations were but my trials of thy love, and now hast strangely stood the test here before the heaven. I ratify this by my rich gift. O Ferdinand, do not smile at me that I boast her off, for thou shalt find she will outstrip all praise, and make it halt behind her. I do not believe it against any oracle. Then is my gift in thine own acquisition. Worthily purchased, take my daughter, but if thou dost break her virgin, not before all sanctimonious ceremonies may with full and holy rite be ministered. No sweet aspiration shall the heavens let fall to make this contract grow, but barren hate, sour-eyed disdain and discord shall bestrew the union of your bed with weeds so loathly that you shall hate it both. Therefore take heed as hymns lamps shall light you. As I hope for quiet days, fair issue and long life, with such love as 'tis now, the murkiest den, the most opportune place, the strongest suggestion, our worser genius shall never melt mine honor unto lust, to take away the edge of that day's celebration, when I shall think, or Phoebus' steeds are foundered, or night kept chained below. Fairly spoke. Sit then and talk with her. She is thine own. What, Ariel? My industrious servant Ariel. Enter Ariel. What would my potent master? Here I am. Thou, thy meaner fellows, your last service did worthily perform, and I must use you in such another trick. Go bring the rabble, o'er whom I give thee power, here to this place, and incite them to quick motion, for I must bestow upon the eyes of this young couple some vanity of mine art. It is my promise, and they expect it from me. Presently? Aye, with a wink. Before you can say come and go, and breathe twice and cry so, each one tripping on this toe, we'll be here with mop and mow. Do you love me, master, no? Dearly, my delicate Ariel, do not approach, till thou dost hear me call. Well, I conceive. Look, thou be true, do not give dalliance. Too much of the rain, the strongest oaths are straw. To the fire the blood be more abstemious, or else good night your vow. I warrant you, sir, the white gold virgin snow upon my heart abates the odour of my liver. Well, now come, my Ariel, bring a corollary, rather than when a spirit appear in perlity, no tongue, all eyes be silent. A mask. Enter Iris. Ceres, most bounteous lady, thy rich lees, of what rye, barley, vetches, oats, and peas, thy turfy mountains where live nibbling sheep, and flat meads thatched with stover them to keep, thy banks with poined and twilled brims, which spongy April at thy hest betrims, to make cold nymphs chaste crowns, and thy broom groves, whose shadow the dismissed bachelor loves, being last and lorn, thy pole-clipped vineyard, and thy sea-marge sterile and rocky hard, where thou thyself dost air the queen to the sky, oh, whose watery arch and messenger am I, bids thee leave these and with her sovereign grace. Here on this grass plot, in this very place, to come and sport, her peacocks fly amain, approach riches, Ceres, her to entertain. Enter Ceres. Hail, many-colored messenger that's near, dost disobey the wife of Jupiter? Who with thy saffron wings upon my flowers diffusest honey drops, refreshing showers, and with each end of thy blue bough dost crown my bosky acres, and my unshrubbed down. Rich scarf to my proud earth, why hath thy queen summoned me hither to this short-grassed green? A contract of true love to celebrate, and some denotion freely to estate on the blessed lovers. Tell me, heavenly bough, if Venus or her son, as thou dost know, do not attend the queen? Since they did plot the means that dusky dis my daughter got, her and her blind boy's scandaled company I have forsworn. Of her society be not afraid, I met her deity, cutting the clouds toward Paphos, and her son dove drawn with her. Here thought they to have done some wanting charm upon the man and maid, whose vows are, that no bed right shall be made, till him's torch be lighted, but in vain, Mars' hot minion is returned again. Her waspish-headed son has broke his arrows, swears he will shoot no more, but play with sparrows, and be a boy right out. Highest queen of state, great Juno comes, I know her by gait. Enter Juno. How does my bounteous sister go with me, to bless this twain, that they may prosperous be and honored in their issue? Song. Honor, riches, marriage blessing, long countenance and increasing, hourly joys be still upon you, Juno sings her blessings on you. Earth's increase, foys in plenty, barns and garners never empty, vines with clustering bunches growing, plants with goodly birding bowing. Spring come to you at the furthest, in the very end of harvest, scarcity and want shall turn you, Ceres, blessing so is on you. This is a most majestic vision, and harmonious charmingly, but I may be bold to thank these spirits which by my art I have from this confines called to enact my present fancies. Let me live here ever, so rare a wondered father and a wise makes this place paradise. Sweet, now silence. Juno and Ceres whisper seriously. There's something else to do. Hush, and be mute, or else our spell is marred. You nymphs called Naiades of the wandering books, with your sedge crowns and ever harmless looks, leave your crisp channels, and on this green land answer your summons. Juno does command. Come, temperate nymphs, and help to celebrate a contract of true love. Be not too late. Enter certain nymphs. You sunburned sicklemen of August weary, come hither from the furrow and be merry. Make holiday, your rye straw hats put on, and these fresh nymphs encounter everyone in country footing. Enter certain reapers, properly habited. They join with the nymphs in a graceful dance towards the end whereof Prospero starts suddenly and speaks, after which, to a strange hollow and confused noise, they heavily vanish. I had forgot that foul conspiracy of the beast Chris and his confederates against my life. The minute of their plot is almost come. Well done, avoid no more. This is strange, your father's in some passion that works him strongly. Never till this day saw I him touched with anger so distempered. You do look, my son, in a moved sort, as if you were dismayed. Be cheerful, sir, our revels now are ended. These our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits, and are melted into air, into thin air, and like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers of the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, all which it inherit, shall dissolve, and like this unsubstantial pageant faded, leave not a track behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. Sir, I am vexed. Bear with my weakness, my old brain is troubled. Be not disturbed with my infirmity. If you be pleased, retire into my cell, and there repose a turn or two I'll walk, to still my beating mind. We wish your peace. Come with a
King
thought.
of the hill.
I thank thee, Ariel. Come. Enter Ariel. Thy thoughts I cleave to. What's thy pleasure? Spirit, we must prepare to meet with Chris. I, my commander, when I presented Ceres. I thought to have told thee of it, but I feared, lest I might anger thee. Say again, where didst thou leave these varlets? I told you, sir, they were red hot with drinking. So full of valor, they that smote the air for breathing in their faces beat the ground for kissing of their feet. Yet always bending towards their project, then I beat my temper, at which like unbacked colts they pricked their ears, advanced their eyelids, lifted up their noses, as they smelt music, so I charmed their ears, that calf-like they my lowing followed through, toothed briars, sharp furzes, pricking ghosts and thorns, which entered their frail things, at last I left them. I, the filthy mantled pool beyond your cell, their dancing up the chins at the full lake. O'er stunk their feet. This was well done, my bird. Thy shape invisible retain thou still. The trumpery in my house, go bring it thither, for still to catch these thieves. I go. A devil, a born devil, on whose nature nature can never stick, on whom my pains, humanly taken, are all lost, quite lost, and with his age his body uglier grows, so his mind cankers. I will plague them all, even so roaring. Re-enter Ariel, loaded with glistering apparel. Come hanging him on this line. Prospero and Ariel remain invisible. Enters Chris, Stefano, and Trinculo, all wet.
Enemy about to score.
Pray you, tread softly, that the blind mole may not hear a footfall. We now are near his cell. Monster, your fairy, which you say is a harmless fairy, has done little better than played the jack
Enemy
with us.
team score.
Monster, I do smell all horse piss, at which my nose is in great indignation.
Hill.
So is mine. Do you hear, monster? If I should take a displeasure against you, look you. Thou wert but a lost monster. Good my lord, give me thy favor still. Be patient, for the prize I'll bring thee to shall hoodwink this mischance. Therefore speak softly. All's hushed as midnight yet. Aye, but to lose our bottles in the pool. There is not only disgrace and dishonor in that, monster, but an infinite loss. That's more to men than my wetting. Yet this is your harmless fairy, monster. I will fetch off my bottle, though I be heirs for my labor.
Control.
Prithee, my king, be quiet, cease thou here. This is the mouth o' the cell, no noise and enter. Do that good mischief which may make thee silent. Thine own forever, and I thy Chris, for aye thy foot's liquor. Give me thy hand, I do begin to have bloody thoughts. O King Stefano, O peer, O worthy Stefano, look, what a wardrobe here is for thee. Let it alone, thou fool, it is but trash. Oh ho, monster, we know what belongs to a frippery, O King Stefano. Put off thy gown, Trinculo. By the sand I'll have that gown.
Enemy team.
Thy grace shall have it. The dropsy drown this fool. What do you mean, to dote thus on such luggage? Let's along and do the murder first if he awake. From toe to crown he'll fit our skins with pinches. Make us strange stuff. Be you quiet, monster. Mistress Line is not this my jerkin. Now is a jerkin under the line. Now jerkin you are like to lose your hair and prove a bald jerkin. Do, we steal by line and level, ain't like your grace. I thank thee for thy jest. Here's a garment for it. Twit shall not go unrewarded while I am king of this country. Steal by line and level is an excellent pass of pate. There's another garment for it. Monster, come, put some lime upon your fingers, and away with the rest. I will have none on't. We shall lose our time. And all be turned to barnacles, or to apes with foreheads villainous low. Monster, lay to your fingers help to bear this way where my hawk's head of wine, or I'll turn you out of my kingdom. Go to, carry this, and this, and this.
Kill control.
A noise of hunters heard, enter divers spirits in shape of hounds, and hunt them about. Prospero and Ariel sitting them on. Hey, mountain, hey! Silver, there it goes, silver! Fury, there, giant, there, hark!
Enemy team.
Go charge my goblins, that they grind their joints. With dry convulsions, shorten up their sinews with age cramps, and more pinched spotted make them, than pard or cat o' mountain. Hark, they roar. Let them be hunted soundly at this hour.
Enemy team took the hill.
Lie at my mercy, all mine enemies. Shortly shall all my labors end, and thou shalt have the arid freedom for a little follow and do me service.
Enemy about to score. Hill control. Your team about to score. Enemy team took the hill.
Dude, you're a bitch. I can't.
Enemy team scored. Hill incoming. Hill ready. Hill control. Enemy team took the hill. Hill control. Enemy team took the hill.
Bitch. Anyway, we're done.
Enemy team nearing victory.
We're done here, so. Anyway, so the property here. We're not arguing about it either. Miranda, you can come on over. Not a joke at all. I'll continue this later, though. I'm going off. It's hard to stop reading. I didn't want to stop on the fourth one, but I'm coming, just sitting here waiting. You know what I mean? Up there, I'm not putting up with this shit at all. So I don't know what to tell you. That's what you're getting.